This episode of the Mommy Millennials podcast is brought to you by MJ Photography. Hi, Mommy Millennials. We have something special for you.
You know what's wild?
What?
Moms are the memory keepers, but somehow we are missing from the memories. Mm-hmm. You're capturing everything, first steps, first word, every little moment. But when you look back, we're barely in the frame.
You probably have a million photos of your kids, but how many of those photos are you actually in?
Girl, none. I look back at those photos. I'm trying to take selfies. I look crazy. I just really need to get them professionally done.
Well, lucky for us.
Our girl, Mariandre, owner of MJ Photography and a Maryland wedding and lifestyle photographer, is hosting a motherhood mini session on April 25th in a gorgeous studio space with a clean, modern aesthetic and the dreamiest floral setup.
Think soft, elevated, and timeless, but still fun and full of life.
These aren't stiff, awkward photos because that is not her vibe. They're natural, joyful, and full of those real in-between moments with your kiddos.
Because that's what she's all about, capturing stories with heart and intention.
And we have a little treat for you.
Yay!
Listeners get VIP booking access plus 15% off your full gallery purchase.
So head over to her Instagram at MDRE Photography, that's MDREE Photography, and book your mini session today.
You'll be so happy that you did.
We hope to see you there. Welcome to the Mommy Millennials podcast, where we don't claim to have all the answers, just a willingness to figure it out. We're your hosts, Jocelyn
and Lauren, proud girl moms and best friends sharing our take on mommyhood. Whether you're changing a dirty diaper, stuck in traffic, or just have a minute to yourself,
we're so happy you're here. Hi.
Hey, Mommy Millennials.
Hi, Mommy Millennials.
We just got back from our outing.
We had an outing today.
For those who were on our social,
guessing where we were.
If you guessed winery, you were correct.
Ding, 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 ding. I don't think anyone guessed church.
Yeah, you won't find me
Sunday.
in a church on a Sunday.
Well, and then that's the best part is the messages we got from people who knew Lauren were like, Lauren, church? Okay.
Yeah, which we don't have to get into right now.
And we're not going to.
But yeah, no. It's a no. It's a no for me, dog.
I love it.
Yeah, we just came back from celebrating a very special friend's birthday. Mm-hmm. It was so nice. And we just had another girls' night
we've
a couple
been
nights
at
ago.
it this weekend.
Go us.
Yes.
Mommies are out.
Mm-hmm. Out. Kidless, empty car seats, having fun.
Shout out to the Papi Millennials for covering us.
For real. And grandparents.
Thank you. We love you. Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So all of our outings have had us talking about like the preparation for the outings, the actual
Don't you
outings.
hate that? It's like all of the outings happen, but then most of the outing we're talking about our kids and the fact that we're leaving the kids.
Yeah, that's not what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, that does suck. It's mom mental load BS.
Say what you were going to say.
I was gonna say that all these outings have had us talking about the importance of spending time with your girlfriends.
That's true. That's true. And not to like rehash Galentine's Day episode, but
I'm like, what was our Galentine's Day episode?
Well, like the Galentine's Day
Mom
episode,
brain, man.
We talked a lot about the importance of mom friendships.
Yeah.
So I think we don't have to get into the importance of mom friendships. Just the actual act of hanging out with moms, with
friends.
The actual act of hanging out with friends is very important for our mental health.
For sure. And it's something that's so easy to like let go to the wayside. Mm-hmm. because you're caught up in momming.
Yeah.
And a lot of times going on these outings, it's just added work.
It is.
Leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
The outing itself is usually pretty fun.
You have to prepare for, you have to prepare the child. You have to prepare whoever's covering. You have to prepare yourself for the outing itself.
Yeah.
And it's a lot. And, when you start thinking about all those things that you have to prepare, you end up talking yourself out of it
a lot
sometimes.
Of times. Yeah. Yeah. Like, if I don't love you that much.
I've never talked myself out of it personally. I've always just powered through. Because I'm like, I need a break.
If you're hearing this and I faked on you, my excuses were real. No, I'm genuinely thinking about it. I don't know if I've powered through solely because I don't think I have any relationships right now where I don't genuinely want to be there for someone.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I think the relationships that I have are pretty intentional, and I don't feel like I have to go to that. Well, I think sometimes there have been places, I'm lying.
Okay.
There have been places where I'm like, we have to go, but Steve is like, no, we don't.
Oh.
So if it weren't for him, I would be super overextended. I'm already overextended.
Yeah.
Right?
But you are actively working on that.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah. Trying very hard.
Yes.
But he is quick to be like, we actually don't have to do that, and we don't have to go. And if they stop inviting us, we didn't want to go anyway. So
I hope you're not digging your own hole right now with some friends that are listening.
I don't think they listen. No, but it's mostly when things are overwhelming.
Yeah.
He's like, you're so overwhelmed and there's too much going on. You cannot do 5 parties in a day.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So you don't have to go.
Well, this just opened up a lot of
this isn't
different
necessarily
things.
about momming and like hanging out with mom friends. That he never,
Yeah. This is opening a few different doors in my mind because I am thinking about how that resonated with me in terms of Jocelyn and I always saying yes to invitations.
Yeah.
Even let's call it everyone, like we
want to be there for everyone.
Genuinely want to be there for everyone. We have found ourselves in many scenarios where we say yes to every invitation, and then we are looking ahead at our weekend or a month view sometimes, and we realize we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. Like, we overextended ourselves. We don't have any free days any of these following weekends, and now we're going from one thing to the next. And I think that in some of the conversations that I've had with him regarding the why behind the yes, it had a lot to do for me with not wanting to miss out. And it being a connection to a part of me pre-baby that would always say yes to things. And it was hard for me to grapple with this change in my identity as someone who has children and has to say no to things that I want to do. Does that make sense?
I think so.
What doesn't make sense about it?
Honestly, I think I'm just thinking about myself.
Tell me more. You jerk.
It's like you're talking and I'm like, yeah, because we've
Do
had
y'all see what I have to deal with?
Because we've had this conversation before. It's not like I'm hearing something new.
Yes, but our listeners haven't. So I need you to fake it.
So now I'm like, do I feel... do I feel like I'm missing out? Is that why I say yes to so many things? And I don't think so. I think I say yes because I was like growing up, you just said yes and you had to go. if someone invited you, it's because they thought about you, and the polite thing to do is to go. So I don't think I've ever stopped to think, do I want to go? Will I feel like I'm missing out? Or anything like that.
Okay. But do you understand
your FOMO? I understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Because I want to make this about me again.
Yeah, we should. Go ahead.
I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. No, ultimately, I think there's a lot of reasons why obviously, there's a lot of reasons why we do things. There's a lot of reasons why we say yes to all the things. The reasons why we say maybe or no, or we start to change our tune. But ultimately, I think aside from all of that, there is at its core an importance behind moms making plans with friends, attending things, getting out of their day-to-day as moms.
Okay, yes. What I will say is when I think about invitations I get to hang out with friends, it's not just a yes, I have to go because someone invited me, but it's an excitement.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yes. Okay, great. I can do this.
Yeah.
I can hang out with my friends.
Yeah, because I think we've talked about a few different things. It's like there's the events, the calendar full of group things with our families, with the spouses, without the kids, or with the spouses and the kids. And then there's just girlfriends or friends, no kids.
Yeah.
No spouse.
Yeah.
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 And those are just opportunities, I think, to reconnect with those friends, reconnect with yourself a little bit.
And just be silly.
Yeah. Without having without feeling the immediate responsibility of being mom.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so.
The other thing I'm thinking about is when it comes to hanging out with mom friends, figuring out doing the mental gymnastics for childcare doesn't feel as burdensome.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, okay, who can take care of her? How can I make this happen? Blah, 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 blah. For me, a lot of times, you're so much better at this than me. If I have a break, I usually like to give Steve a break too. Mm-hmm. And
Same.
find my parents, or someone else to take care of Aurora. But if that doesn't work, I'm just like, hey, sorry, so I'm going out on Friday. You're on bedtime and dinner and all this other stuff. Have fun. Whereas I think you do a much better job at asking, Yassine.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where I'm like, I'm doing this, bye.
But it's
Thanks.
not like asking for permission. It's more so...
It's a consideration thing.
It's a consideration thing and checking in. Like, if I were to do this, are you okay with covering? Do you have the bandwidth? Do we have the bandwidth? Would that make things very complicated for us? For example, for me to be able to attend this birthday thing, Yassine has his obligation on Sunday mornings, and I want to respect that obligation because it's important to him. It's his time, right? And so an older version of me would have been like, can you skip that obligation and cover so that I can do my obligation? But we've gotten to a better place of your obligation is just as important as mine. So let's come up with a solution that allows for both of us to fulfill that obligation.
Yeah.
So when I presented this event to him, I said, I know that this is during your time, so I'm thinking of getting my mom to cover. Is that okay? And he was like, yeah, that'd be dope. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's ever going to be you, and that's okay. That's just the way you are, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I think I try. I've been trying.
No, I think you've gotten better.
I think I've gotten better. Well, I think my first option in terms of childcare isn't necessarily Steve. Because if I have the night off, I want to give, or the morning off or whatever, I want to give him the morning off. And so if it comes down to him.
Yeah, so it just looks different.
Yeah, it's me being like, I need you to do this. And I mean, I'm being a little facetious for, you know, the show and like my personality being funny and dramatic. I always have to be careful because then people make assumptions about how I treat my husband, you know. But if I can't find anyone else, if everyone else is busy, he's happy to do it.
Yeah,
if he weren't happy to do it, then I'm sure I would approach it a different way. But I'm like, have fun, bye.
Yeah.
But that is also a big change for me. From pre-baby and early postpartum days. Before I had Aurora, I remember, obviously you had Mila before I had Aurora. And when we would hang out, I don't know if you remember, but I didn't really suggest hanging out that much. Because one-on-one. Because I just kind of made the assumption that you wouldn't want to leave Mila.
Oh, this is a sensitive topic for me.
Oh.
It was more sensitive for me before I had Layla. I worked through a lot of it while I was pregnant with Layla.
Share.
I hate it when people make assumptions about how pregnant moms are feeling about hanging out and new moms.
Oh, for sure.
Same. I mean, I know you've shared the same sentiment. But it's a sensitive topic for me because I remember being really in my feelings about the lack of invitations that I was receiving because I knew that it was related to the fact that I was a new mom.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I ever didn't invite you to something, but it wasn't, or do you think I didn't invite you?
I don't know.
No, because I don't really invite people to anything really. I just kind of go places. You know, I'm not an invitation person unless
you
it's a big
invite
event.
People, you get invited.
Exactly. But I wouldn't say let's go get sushi or whatever. If it, like before,
yeah,
when you lived in DC, there were random times where we went to Georgetown or we did things here or there, or our plays. I mean, COVID, I think, also played a role into all of that. I know
we need to start that back up.
We do need to start that back up. And so that kind of went, you know, away, but it's not an assumption more about you. It was more, I wouldn't feel comfortable leaving if I were a mom.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put you in that position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know you wouldn't want to put me in that position, but I also didn't appreciate people putting me in a box.
Yeah.
Let me make the decision.
Yeah.
You know, I would.
But if you say no to me, I'm going to cry.
That's a you problem.
Yeah. All of it is a me problem, though,
yes.
right? So it's like, yes, making an assumption, but at the same time protecting my feelings.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I say all of this because this is how I felt about it, but I also recognize that it's not that simple for me to want people to behave and act a certain way or think about things a certain way. Like, I can't control my friends looking at it from that angle, and I don't hold it against them. I just had a really hard time with it.
Well, and I think there are some moms that feel like, why would you even invite me?
Yeah,
I'm a mom.
There
I
are
can't go,
exactly.
So why would you invite
there
me?
are definitely moms that are on the other side of the spectrum when it comes to this topic. But I just remember for me, it was really hard. And I alluded to this in another episode. It was really hard being the first of my friends to have a kid. And that was a superpower in a sense, but also it was a little bit of an insecurity because it almost felt like you can't sit with us anymore. And I still wanted to sit with y'all.
I mean, don't put me in there. I stayed inviting you.
Y'all in general. and honestly, like, I know none of my friends, this also is very much a in my head situation. Like, I also don't think that any of my friends deliberately were like,
we're not going to invite her because
we're not going to invite her. But, and it could have been way bigger than it actually was. It could have been bigger in my head than it actually was. It was just me navigating different identities. Identities match sense, right? Like, yeah, identity was a big thing for me. Identity shifts. And when I got pregnant with Layla, I started thinking about how I was going to go through that shift again. And then I realized that I was way more confident going into it this time around in terms of not having FOMO, not feeling like I was an afterthought. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to get invited to stuff. I'm not going to get invited to stuff. It doesn't change the fact that I have kids. Like, or like the fact that I have kids is not going to change that at this point. I can't go backwards. Like, I'm just adding more to my family. So this is way beyond my depths at this point. I can't control any of this anymore. Yeah. And I kind of was like, you need to get over it and lean into your life as a mom to two. And I'm glad that I have let go of it and leaned into it more, because I have no problem saying no now. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I take pride in saying, I'm so sorry, I have swim lessons, or I have gymnastics, or I can't go during this time because I have these other family obligations.
We've had this conversation a lot, but I'm learning so much more about your perspective. And that's why I'm just kind of like taking it in, because
I thought we've had this conversation before.
We've had parts of it. But when I was early postpartum, I remember feeling like I wish I hadn't been invited.
Yeah.
I was grateful to be invited, but I'm like, oh, now I kind of feel like I have to go, and I don't really want to go out with the baby. I don't want a bunch of people seeing her, or I'm not ready to be without her, and that was tough for me.
Yeah, I think that's very understandable and very common.
I think it took me a long time to get to the place where we are now, where I feel not only confident and comfortable going somewhere without Aurora, but I'm excited to do it. I think it took me a long time because I was breastfeeding her for so long. Yeah. She wasn't taking the bottle. So I really just didn't. It was rare when I went out without her. Super rare. Yeah. And we had this conversation, I don't know if it was earlier or a couple days ago, about not even realizing that you need something. Not realizing that you need that time with friends. Sometimes not until you have that time, or until way later. Yeah. Because I actually don't remember. I think I do know the first time I went out without Aurora. It was for a friend's baby shower, and I felt really weird. And now, like we were talking about, I'm glad I did that. If I didn't, I would have really regretted not being there for that friend. But I think after that, I don't think there was a time where it was just girl time until we did Love is Blind at my house. We host Love is Blind reunion finale. We have a little group that does it for our listeners that aren't in the group chat. And so because I was feeding Aurora, we did it at my house, and my in-laws were in town. Yeah. And they took her. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember, I was pretty anxious when they took her. But I tried to play it off because
they took her to Old Town.
Yeah. Because and it was like too close to bedtime.
It was late. You were like, you're going to take them.
It's such a Latino thing to do. Yeah.
And they're like, yep.
Yeah. But I think it was that my mother-in-law knew
what you needed.
What I needed. Yeah.
And that was just,
and maybe Steve too, because I don't actually know whose idea that ended up being. But I assume it was my mother-in-law that was like, if the baby's here, she's not going to be able to have fun with her friends. And she should be able to have fun with her friends. Yeah. So, but that was, I think, the first time that I had solo girl time with like a close group of friends that was just hanging out and having fun. And I remember I had so much fun that day.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a blast. Yeah. I had so much fun because the previous 2 Love is Blind reunions that we had done, I was pregnant and sick, and not feeling well. So it had felt like a long time since I had had some meaningful girl time.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then Aurora came back. I fed her, and like my mother-in-law took her to bed, and it was such a good night for me.
Yeah.
And I think if I wouldn't have had that night, it would have been a really long time until I felt comfortable.
I think so too. And that's just another example of how sometimes our people know what we need more than we even know. And as we were talking about in that conversation, and obviously this is so clear to me now, hindsight's 2020, you know, I'm just so much more experienced than you with 2 kids. I'm fucking no, but I think that it's so important to get the reps in. And it's so true. It's kind of like, not practice makes perfect.
It's like a muscle.
It's a muscle. You have to repeat the thing that makes you uncomfortable until you start getting really good at it. And I think about that when it comes to navigating the breastfeeding pump schedule and going out and hanging out with friends. Depending on what you're signing up for, you have to either, again, going back to the time commitment, right? Depending on what you're signing up for, it could be an hour outing or it could be a 5-hour outing. And if you're on a every 3 hours, my baby has to eat or I need a pump cycle, it's tough to incorporate that into whatever you're doing. And I think that with Mila, I might have chosen to stay home more. And then with Layla, I leaned into it a lot more, where I adopted the mom cozy on the go vibe very quickly, because not just for outings, but just mom of a toddler, she kept me busy. I couldn't really sit down and pump or, you know, like often, right? I just was always on the go doing things with Mila as well. So, the mom cozy has come with me to a lot of different places that I don't think I would have normally done. I mean, I have memories of sitting at restaurant tables pouring. Didn't I do that with you one time?
I'm picturing it and I'm trying to remember where we were.
We were eating somewhere and I was like, don't mind me.
Yeah.
Like taking out my mom cozy and pouring my breast milk into bottles. And I was doing it very proudly because it's who I am. It's what I'm doing. This is part of my life. And I think that some people were, I don't know that anyone was grossed out by it, but I think there's actually like a sense of like being impressed by it. It's kind of like, oh, cool. Like you can do that. Good for you. Good for moms to have that choice now. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't have those initial difficult moments of, do I want to do this in public?
Yeah,
do I
want to this conversation.
Yeah, do I want to take all this stuff? Should I just stay home? Like, you go through this whole mental gymnastics, and if you just put yourself out of your comfort zone a few more times and keep working at it, then it gets easier and it gets more comfortable. And then you realize that you could have missed out on those moments had you not pushed yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit.
I also think this just reminds me of the importance of having understanding friends.
Yes.
Because I think back to Layla's nesting party, and I really struggled with bringing Aurora, not bringing Aurora, and because I didn't really want to bring her. But that didn't feel very realistic for me. Or I don't want to say I didn't want to bring her. I didn't feel it was appropriate to bring her.
Which I thought was so dumb.
I know. But, you know, I really wanted that day to be all about you, all about Layla. And that's, you know, I really struggled with it until I had a conversation with you and was like, I'm really struggling with this, but I want to be there for you. And I don't want to be worried about feeding her. And you were like, this is so dumb, just bring her.
Well, I said, this is so dumb, it's not my bachelorette.
Yeah.
Like, we are nesting for my second baby.
Yeah. Well, and then I also think
At my
about
house.
yeah.
I love you.
You know what? Postpartum brain is fun. And she came. I fed her. You know, it was great. She took the longest nap of her life in whoever's nursery that was at that point in time.
Layla.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, I guess
yeah.
we were transitioning
Yeah.
it into Layla's nursery.
Sure.
I found those pictures the other day of her sleeping with Steven there. But then I think about just a couple months later, Layla sip and see. Do you remember?
Yes. Uh-huh.
That I was bringing Aurora and then we got a flat tire.
Yes.
And she was losing it. And I was like, this is too much. And I went to my parents' house and I dropped her off.
Yes.
And I came completely unprepared to pump or anything. And I was like, I'm going to need to pump. And you were like, good thing I have a pump right upstairs. And I went right upstairs and I put your pump on and I was able to pump my milk. But I mean, lucky that you were also postpartum and we could do that, you know, because if not, I would have left.
Yeah.
And we were having a really good time.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think another mom would have been like, that sucks. I guess you've got to go. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. Well, going back to the part of having understanding friends, I think another thing I needed to kind of wake myself up about was my friends and I have a close enough relationship where I can tell them how I feel about the whole invitation thing. Mm-hmm. And I think I started opening up a little bit more about that with some of them. And then it ended up being a, why don't you just bring her thing? Mm-hmm. And then I started doing that. And that was cool, you know, and realizing that my friends also needed to adapt to my new normal.
Yeah.
So I think that is helpful. But I also, going back to our whole topic, feel like there's a time and place for those moments. And then there's the times and places that we don't need to have them there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was thinking too. That's all fine and dandy and extremely grateful and appreciative for those moments. But it is so important to have alone time.
Yeah.
To have just girl time, just to talk, just to let loose, just to say things. You know, before I had a baby, I used to ask you all the time, how do you leave Mila? Mm-hmm. Because I was on the phone sometimes, or, you know, would be somewhere where she would be losing it. And she'd say, I don't want you to go. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you're very nice and very gentle. And we joke that you're like, okay, bye, sweetie. Mm-hmm. And I would be like, I don't know how you do that. I'd be like, okay, guys, sorry, can't go. You know, Roar wants me to stay. Bye.
Yeah.
See you next time. And now that I have her.
Mm-hmm. And she's a toddler.
Because,
you know,
yeah,
everything's different.
Toddler-ish. You know how I feel about that. I'm like, okay, bye, sweetie. See you later. Mommy's got to go.
You are that girl now.
I am that girl now. And I never thought I would be. Mm-hmm. I was like, this is going to take over my life. I don't know how I'm going to say bye if she's crying or she doesn't want me to go. And I mean, there are times where now, you know, it's a lot better depending on who she's with. As if she's with my parents, like today, she was like, you're still here. You can leave now.
Well, I think it makes me think back to what we just said about getting the reps in and doing it because it's good for you. But also it makes me think about how we need to just be aware of where we're at. Because there are going to be some times where it's not easy to say goodbye, even if we've done it a million times. And maybe that just says something about how you're feeling regarding the amount of time you're spending with them, wanting to just be more present. Who knows? Sometimes you need that time with them.
Yeah.
So, but this goes just like the whole mental load that we have. Like we have to be so in tune with so many different feelings that when we do say yes to that thing and we do go, it is really a nice mental break to not have to think about all of the things. Mm-hmm. I mean, we end up talking a lot about mom stuff during those outings.
Well, because that's our life,
right?
Yeah. But
it's not in the same way. It's not like in a stressful way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in a fun way.
Yeah.
or in a helpful way.
Yeah. So when are we taking the girls trip? I just took it to the next level.
Girl. That's another thing that I used to say.
How do you do it?
No way. We'll never. Sorry.
You still haven't yet, right?
I'm waiting for a brand to sponsor us to take us on one of those influencer trips.
She's half joking.
I'm a quarter joking.
But you haven't had that girls trip yet.
No.
Or like
no, but that's not something that I did before either.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like,
Which is why I'm like, no,
Yeah.
you know, usually I do stuff with Steve.
Yeah.
We're codependent in that way.
I mean, quite frankly,
but now I'm way more open to a girls trip than I was when I was just married.
Yeah.
When I was just married, I'm like, why would I go with other people? I'd rather be with my husband.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, you begin on my nerves too.
Well, I was gonna say what I was gonna say was you also don't say yes to group trips very much because you have standards.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
With where she stays.
Yeah. No shower curtains. That's my biggest one. I hate staying somewhere that has a shower curtain. I just think they're disgusting.
I love girls trips.
And she don't care if it has a shower curtain. The girls trip that I'm looking forward to is like us and our daughters.
Yes. Well,
That's
we're talking
the girls
about
trip that I want
without the kids.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to go somewhere with you, but I'll be honest, it's not super high on my list.
Okay, but you know what? I'm not going to negate. I get it. I'm not going to negate that, though. I think it is an important point to make that girls' time can also look like doing things together with our daughters.
Yeah.
Because
I agree. I don't think for the
mean?
purposes of this episode.
Okay, we can scratch that.
Well, because when I think of how I want to spend time, girl time.
Yeah, that's true.
It's me and you going to the spa again.
Mm-hmm.
And then getting lunch afterwards, or going to our plays and getting dinner and doing stuff like that we used to do.
Yeah.
I think if we used to go on girls' trips, I would maybe feel that way.
Yeah.
But I do miss the stuff that we used to do. Mm-hmm. Like our sushi outings, you know.
Yeah.
I have other friends that we like. With Claudia, we'd always try a new restaurant.
I'm laughing because I'm like, what sushi outing did we take?
We did for my birthday the night Aurora was conceived.
Oh, yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And so,
sorry.
No, that's okay.
Forget about that.
Like with Claudia, she would always have a new restaurant and we'd always try a new restaurant. We were both kind of young, scrappy in DC political world, and it was a thing people did, and that's not a reality for me or for her anymore.
Yeah, I get that. My mind goes to just depends on what type of friends you have and like what things you do, just what you just said, right? Because I think when I think of girls trips, for me, I think of friends that I have in other places.
Yeah.
Like my friend
I do a good job at keeping in contact with people, so I don't really have friends in other places.
My friend Ashley, who moved from here to Atlanta, we were just talking about how it'd be really nice to meet up somewhere to do like a spa type of retreat thing for a weekend. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds really nice. And my friend Matilda, she's in Dominican Republic, so that makes it easy. I can just go there, and she doesn't have to do anything but just live there. But like John and Angie in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So, well, John is not a girl, but
friend.
no.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think for my own well-being, I loved traveling before I had kids. So traveling on my own sparked something in me that I really find exciting, and I can kind of feel more connected to myself. I can hear myself think, and I don't know. I also traveled a lot when I was working. Yeah. And that was not exactly girls' time or girls' trips, but it it did allow for me to have a break, reset.
Well, you say that, I'm like, maybe that's also another reason why I feel this way, because I do still travel for work.
Yeah.
A decent amount. I have more choice on where I go and what I do, but yeah, I do still travel a good amount for work.
Yeah.
And so maybe I'd feel differently if I didn't. I'm sure I would.
Yeah.
Because those are kind of forced breaks, even if you don't want them.
Mm-hmm.
What I really want to talk about that I think we've touched a little bit on is girlhood.
Yeah.
And us still going through girlhood and the importance of girlhood. When we hang out, sometimes we do feel like kids.
We do.
I don't remember what we were doing today, or we were joking about today that we said, oh, I sound like a little kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's funny because this actual child that I know does this exact same thing that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that makes us better moms.
I do too. I also think it makes me think about how I want to encourage Mila to have strong friendships with girls.
Well, and you do such a good job at that. You
Yeah.
do such a good job at nurturing friendships and keeping in touch with people and, you know, all of that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times I'm like, how do you even do that?
Do what? Teach them that?
No. How do you
Keep up?
keep up?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's just like a way you function thing.
I think it is a way I function thing. I just care a lot about the friendships that I have. Well, I also feel as if so many of the people that are in my life have shown up for me in almost the same amount or the same ways. And I want to honor that and try to show up just as much for them. I don't do a great job all the time, but I really try. And I think that I'm good at being self-aware when I feel like maybe it's been too long since I last reached out or whatever. And I'll try my hardest to.
So when it's been a long time, what do you say? Because when I feel like, wow, I kind of miss this person, it's been a long time to reach out, I'm like, yeah, it's been too long. I'm just going to keep it moving. That's genuinely how I feel. I'm like, yeah, it's too long. It's going to be awkward.
What I really try to do
They're mad at me.
Is if they cross my mind, I try to pause, stop right there and send them a text and say, hey, you crossed my mind, thinking of you. Hope all is well. Let's catch up soon or something like that. And it's usually oh my gosh, yeah, I miss you. We haven't talked in so long. Let's get together. I think that there's also, as we get older, there's an understanding. And if this isn't true for you and your friends, then you should reevaluate your friendships. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I just think that you get to a certain part in your life as adults where everyone should have a mature understanding of life, just lifing. And if someone doesn't reach out, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't want to, or that they don't care about you, or that your friendship is falling apart. I think that it's important to send the message, see where it goes. And if it ends up being that you guys never hang out again, then maybe, like I've said in other episodes, maybe you guys are just going into different directions right now, and maybe you'll come back in the future. I just don't think that people should be so scared to understand and be aware of that and just embrace it for what it is. But I know that a lot of people don't look at it that way.
I'm going to try and do a better job. When I think of someone, to just send them a note.
Yeah. I just think that sometimes people overcomplicate.
Oh, for sure.
Friendships.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I think that there are people that come into your life, you form a strong bond that is kind of a bond that will last forever, but that is not something you have to nurture anymore too. And you can send that text that says, I'm thinking of you, love you, or don't say love you, whatever. And like, you have a mutual understanding that that bond still exists at a distance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
And again, this isn't for everybody. I know, I'm just kidding. You guys can do whatever you want, but and your friends. This is just the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Like I have some friends that are coming to my mind that I'm like, we had a really strong bond and we don't have the circumstances or the environments that we're now in doesn't allow for that bond to continue to stay strong, but that doesn't negate the bond that existed before. And that person, those people still mean something to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So recently I came across something that I thought an old friend that I used to be really close with would like. And it was one of those things that I knew she had wanted to do for a long time and it wasn't, you know, she hadn't been able to. And I was really anxious about sending it to her, but I saw it and I was like, I'm going to regret it if I don't send it to her.
Yeah.
And so I sent it to her and I was like, hey, I know you've always wanted to do this. I don't know. Like, obviously we haven't spoken in a few years. I didn't say that part, but I was like, I don't know if you've done it or not, but just in case I wanted to send this along. And we ended up having a great conversation.
Yeah.
And it was a little mini catch-up session, you know, over text. I learned about what she had been up to. I talked to her a little bit about what I had been up to. It was great. And I felt so good about that afterwards.
Yeah.
And that's something that she has crossed my mind multiple times over the years. And I just haven't had the courage to send her a note.
Yeah.
And say, hey, how are you doing?
You just never know where those conversations can go.
Yeah. Because I'm like, what if they hate me?
I have another friend that's coming to my mind, Natalie. I know you listen. We love you. Thank you for being a loyal listener. She is in Texas. She's like a second sister to me. And I miss her so much. But I don't talk to her that often. But that doesn't mean that our bond is not strong.
Yeah.
And I know that I can talk to her about anything. I also know that I can show up on her doorstep and she will bring me in with open arms and give me a place to lay my head. And I think there's such beauty in those relationships and those friendships. I mean, that one was like it started off when we were very young. So, you know, but, and not this now what I'm about to say has nothing to do with Natalie, but you never know when you send that text like, hey, it's been a while, but this made me think of you. And that person says something like, yeah, actually, I've been going through it. And thank you for reaching out. I'd love to talk to someone about it. Or thank you so much for sending that to me. I'm actually doing that thing that I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
And then you end up having like a cool conversation. I don't know. Maybe this is going too deep, but I just think that at the end of the day, when we try to not lose total faith in humanity, it's so important to have connection with people. It's just really important to like see people in where they are and just support them and what they're doing, even if it's not exactly what you're doing or where you are in life. And it just allows people to like keep going.
One thing that this is bringing up for me is happiness. And those bonds that you have with those people, it's because they make you happy.
Yeah.
And one thing that I think about a lot as a mom is getting so caught up in everything and not showing my daughter happiness.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I do a good job at that. I think I'm very patient and kind with her, but very serious. I don't think, unless she giggles, I don't think she's really seeing me laugh or giggle that often because life is very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it's not coming naturally, and it's not something that is fitting in my brain because I want to think about it. I want to do it. I think girlhood, womanhood is so heavy that it is so important to be happy.
Yeah.
And to teach our daughters that being happy is a good thing and it's okay, and that they should also be happy.
Yeah.
And friendships do that.
Yeah.
They make you happy.
Yeah.
And having time away from kids to be with girlfriends, you come back happier, lighter, refreshed.
Yeah.
Hanging out with your kids and your friends kids or whatever also makes you happy. And I think it's so important for Aurora to see me happy and to see other women happy. And friendships, girlhood is such an important part of that.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I was going to add to that, but you know what? It doesn't need anything else.
So I think it's time.
Is it affirmation time?
It's affirmation time. You think?
Yes.
Okay.
It's affirmation time.
Do you have one?
No. It's your turn.
It's my turn?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you have one?
I think so.
Okay. What is it?
I think we should end the episode with the following affirmation. I am more than just a mom.
Yes, you are, girl.
Mm-hmm.
High five.
High five.
You are more than just a mom.
Mm-hmm. So when momhood is taking over, remember, you're more than just a mom. I love it.
I love it too.
Okay. Great.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Bye.
Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening and being a part of the Momillennials community. If you liked this episode, hit that follow button, connect on our socials, and don't forget to share with other mommies.
Want more? Head to our website, read our blog, grab some merch, and check out our other episodes. Until next time, bye.